whether the team is performing clean or unsightly. We'll cover it all here on Washington Football Nightly. I, of course, am your host, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. Let's get to tonight's lead story. So, if you watched the game last night, and I was in the chat, in the community on Flick, MOBB, stand up. We in the building. Mob Squad. If you're not a part of the squad, what are you waiting on, man? We had a lot of fun, as we always do. I look forward to watching the game with you guys. This week is Dallas week, and we'll talk about that here again in a second. However, we were watching the game on Thursday night, Eagles, Giants. It's a fun game, and it was NFC East football, so there was some turnovers, some boo-boos, but at the end of the day, you saw two teams fighting knowing they had a chance. The Giants are not out of this thing, and they were playing, and they almost won their second game in a row in the division, 2-5 overall, and they would have been right back in the thick of things had they won last night. No one was giving them a chance, and they almost pulled it out, and they should have won the game. They were up 11 with less than 6 minutes to go in that ball game. Eagles pull it out. Carson Wentz was magnificent down the stretch, made big play after big play after big play to rally his team down 11, 12 unanswered points to finish the game. They win 22-21. They get to 2-4-1. More importantly, they take sole possession of first place in the NFC East division. We'll see what happens. That's pending the outcome of Dallas, Washington on Sunday. We'll talk a lot more about that game a little bit later on. But what I want to bring to you, to your doorstep, and just lay it down. I'm going to knock on the door and I'm going to walk away. You can bring it in the house or you can leave it on the doorstep. It's up to you. But what I'm bringing to you is what you already knew, what I've already been telling you. If you watched the game last night, and again, we had a lot of fun in the chat last night. If you watched the game, then you know what I'm about to say. I'm going to say it anyway. We have a shot in this division. I get it. We're 1-5. We stink. All of that is true. But after watching that game, did you walk away from that game saying we got no shot in this division? Did you walk away from Monday night after the Dallas Cowboys got their asses eviscerated on Monday Night Football? Did you walk away from that game saying we got no shot in this division? And I know some of you don't care about us having a shot. You don't care. You don't want a shot. You want Trevor Lawrence, or you want this quarterback, or you want that player, Michael Parsons. You want to upgrade this football team. Look, if you're not talking about a quarterback, then you're not talking about the right position anyway. But you're not getting Trevor Lawrence. Just wrap your brain. The Jets are the worst team in the league, and I don't know if they're going to win a game this season. I know we said the same thing about the Dolphins last year. This is not that, okay? This is much closer to the Olford Browns team we saw like 6 years ago. Okay, it's a lot closer to that than it is the Dolphins last year, who got off to that horrendous start and then kicked it into high gear once they reinserted Ryan Fitzpatrick into the lineup. This Jets team is horrible. We're not getting the number one pick. And if you don't get the number one pick, you're not getting Trevor Lawrence. So for those of you who have this 1-15 imaginary idea in your head, this imaginative idea of we could get Trevor Lawrence, we're going to win more than one game. We're going to slip up. Even if we ultimately do stink and are one of the worst teams in the league, we're going to slip up and win at least one more game. The Jets are not winning 2 games. I can assure you of that. I bet any amount of money right now the Jets aren't winning 2 games this season. They are terrible. So you're not getting number one pick. So why not win the division? Why the hell not? Why not win the division? If you really want a quarterback, you'll find a way to get the guy that you want. You may have to give some stuff up for it, but who cares? If you get the right guy, nobody cares about what you gave up to get him. So we got a shot to win this division. It's all I'm saying to you. Everyone in the chat last night, MOBB, again, stand up. We in the building. They said the same thing. Why can't we win this division? You're watching two teams that can't get out of their own way. We watched Dallas on Monday. I mean, they couldn't even get a first down at points of that game. They scored 10 points. 10 whole points. And here we are sitting and we're saying, why not us? Why not win the game before the bye week, go into the bye week with an abundance of confidence, come off the bye week, you get the Giants again, exact a measure of revenge, and if you look up after 8 weeks of football, you could be 3-5 right in the thick of this thing. Why not? With games against the Lions, Bengals, and that same Cowboys team that you got a chance to beat this week again. I'm not going to start talking crazy because I was about to say the next statement out of my mouth was about to be absurd. I won't go that far. Someone said to me last week, or it might have been this week, they all start to run together. I want to sweep the Cowboys. I said, hey, ho, 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 ho. Matter of fact, it was this week. It was during the live show this week. And I say, hey, put your broom and your dustpan back in the closet. Okay, put it back in the closet. You may I may allow you to bring out the broom if we beat Dallas this week. And maybe I'll allow you to get the dustpan as we get closer to Thanksgiving. I'm not thinking about that. That's too far out of the way. But put both of those away. You got to win one before you can talk to me about sweeping any damn body. And at this point, I just want one. You're talking about two? I just want one. Okay? So we're due for a win versus the Cowboys. They swept us last year. We haven't beat them since that Alex Smith game, the doink off the goalpost by their field goal kicker. We are due for a win versus Dallas. That win was back in what? 2018, I believe. We lost to them the second time that year, the final game of the season, week 17. And they beat us twice last year. So it's a 3-game skid against Dallas. It's time to snap that. I'm sick of losing to them. Here's an opportunity to get off the schneid. You're currently on a 5-game slide. Here's an opportunity to snap that, get back in the winning column, and more importantly, get back into this divisional race. I don't want my season to be over 8 weeks in. I don't want to go into the bye week saying that this season's done. Because for all intents and purposes, and I explained this to you yesterday, so I don't need to do it again, it would be if we don't win this game. There's a lot of importance to this game. But watching that game yesterday between the Eagles and Giants, it further hammered home the point that not only are we in this thing, we've got a shot. Now, again, I understand everything surrounding this team, all the injuries that have cropped up, and we'll talk about the injury report here in a second, all of the different challenges and obstacles that we have to overcome to even win 2 or 3 games in a row. I understand that. Let's just get one. I'm right now, it's one at a time. Rivera is continuing to look forward and talk about this quarter of the schedule and this upcoming, 3-4 game. To hell with all of that. Dallas is next. That's all I want to talk about. Find a way to win this game, and you go into the bye week with a nice, sweet taste of victory in your mouth, and you come out of that bye week, and you hope to build off of it. You lose this game, and I get vibes of 2012, where remember we lost to the Carolina Panthers, who were woeful that year. Remember D'Angelo Williams was pissed off because that was our homecoming game that year. And he said, homecoming game? Who does homecoming games? This is the NFL. This isn't high school. You're not scheduling some chump-ass team to come in here for you to beat up on in your homecoming game. He was pissed. They went out and they beat us. They were like a 1-win team at the time. And we went into the bye week and Mike Shanahan said, well, looks like we'll start evaluating players for next year. And old Bob Griffin stepped up to the mic and said, hey, man, I ain't trying to look forward to next year. I'm trying to run the table this year. Well, we did run the table. We didn't know it at the time because we stunk and we were 3-6 going into that bye. We've got an opportunity to not go into the bye with a loss, but rather a win this time and maybe change the whole course of our season. Starts on Sunday, and after watching this game between the Eagles and the Giants, I said now's as good as any time to turn this thing around and really go after this division. So, let's get to in other news. And I got a couple of things that I want to discuss. Ron stepped up to the mic today. Very short presser. We'll talk about what he had to say. Defensive backs coach Chris Harris stepped up to the mic today. Talk about what he had to say. And I was really interested to hear him because the secondary has been really intriguing with some of the decisions made. Obviously, Troy Apke being benched. Them moving Kendall Fuller last week to safety and the thought process behind that. He answered all of those questions and more. So we'll talk about that. And also the injury report. And I'll get to that in a second. But before I do, I want to encourage you to become a member of the Mob Squad. Watch the Football Mob Squad on Flick. The app, the link to it down in the description of this and every single video. Click that app. If you don't have the app already downloaded on your device, it will take you right to where you can download it. Download the app and then become a member of the Mob Squad. If you already have the app, click that link. It'll take you straight to the page and then become a member. I just recently put a quiz. Remember, I've been teasing this all week. Well, the quiz is done, and it took a long time for me to craft this quiz. I'm proud of this quiz, and I expect no one, and I mean no one except me, to get 100 on this quiz, unless you cheat. And I know a lot of you are cheaters out there. You were looking off of your neighbor's paper in 8th grade. You were looking off your neighbor's paper in the 11th grade. You're a cheater. And I know you're going to type in your little Google search and you're going to get all your answers right. But I'm challenging you to not cheat, but to rather go off of the old noggin. Now, I will tell you, I'll be brutally honest with you. If I took this quiz, if somebody else administered this quiz to me, I would have gotten 2 questions wrong. I would have gotten 2 questions wrong. The other 8, I would have gotten correct, because this stuff is like this brain of mine is a steel trap when it comes to this team. Remember, a lot of this stuff very vividly, like it happened yesterday. So I probably would have gotten an 80 on this quiz. I'm going to look on this quiz, here shortly, and I'm going to see that somebody got 100, and I'm going to know you cheated. And there's no way that you didn't cheat, because some of these questions, I sat and thought long and hard, and I made it hard on purpose because I said I don't want anybody getting 100 on this thing. So we're going to see. But I'm challenging you to go to the Mob Squad and take the quiz. Become a member, take the quiz. And I'm going to tell you right now the name of the quiz and all the questions, 10-question quiz. All the questions are from the Gibbs 2.0 era. So that 2004 to 2007 time frame. If you're familiar with that, jump in there, take the quiz, give it a run and see what you can do. Okay? Gibbs 2.0 is the name of the quiz, and it's from 2004 to 2007. That brief period of time of Cooley and Moss and Portis and all of that, all of those good times that we had. That honestly speaking, outside of 2012, that's the best stretch we've had of football under the reign of terror that is Daniel Snyder. That was the most fun. We won twice in that span. We went to the playoffs twice in 4 years. We won the last playoff game that we won came in 2005. So a lot of good times, man. A lot of good times with those teams. And if you remember that time very vividly, the good, the bad, the ugly, the tragedy of Sean Taylor, if you remember all of those things, test your knowledge on the quiz. Go and sign up for the group. Become a member of the Mob Squad. And go ahead and take your hand at the 2.0 Gibbs quiz. Okay? Let's get to the injury report for both teams heading into Week 7's massive matchup versus the Dallas Cowboys. And so, as you look at this list, I told you that we were going to have quite a few guys out. And you knew that right off the bat. You knew Sadiq Charles was going to be out. You knew Isaiah Wright was going to be out because of yesterday, him not practicing. We knew that Antonio Gandy-Golden was going to be out of this game. What we didn't know, but we were confirmed today, is James Smith-Williams. And I told you, I didn't know he had a concussion, but once I found out yesterday and I said, he's not playing either, he's been ruled out of this game as well. So now let's look at all the rest of the players that could potentially go. Ronald Darby, I told you, he had an illness on Wednesday, which is why he didn't practice. He's fine. He was a full participant yesterday. He's a full participant today. He's playing. Again, he's not someone you should be concerned about. You move forward to Logan Thomas. Had a neck injury. I told you he would play. He was a full participant yesterday, full participant today. And when I said he was going to play, I said, guys like Logan, who's dealing with the little nick of the neck, you just find a way to get to the bye week. The bye week is the antidote for any nicks and bruises and any little bit of injury that you may be dealing with right now. The antidote for that is the bye week. Just get to the bye week and you'll be able to just relax. Some R&R is coming your way here shortly. So he's going to play. Kevin Pierre-Louis, shoulder injury, was limited Wednesday, full participant yesterday, full participant today. He's going to go, no problems there. Same with Chase Young, limited on Wednesday with a groin, full participant on Thursday, full participant on Friday. He's going to be a full go. Here's the guy that I talked about, though. This is the guy that I told you I was most worried about. Ron tried to downplay it yesterday. I told you what the guys at practice, the beat writers at practice told. I said, don't listen to Ron. Ron's trying to downplay this. It's not a big deal. He'll be back at practice tomorrow. We just gave him a veteran day off. No, Ron. Okay? The beat reporters at practice said that he was noticeably limping, had a serious hitch in his giddy-up. I told you guys that, and I said, I don't think Geron Christian's playing this week. Well, he didn't practice today. He didn't practice yesterday. That's a problem, okay? Ron said that Ryan Vermillion, the head strength trainer or athletic trainer, said that they kept him out of practice today for precautionary reasons and that they're going to test him tomorrow to see if he can go. He may ultimately be able to go this weekend. I would not hold my breath. And if we have to start Cornelius Lucas, first of all, never, ever trust a man with 2 first names. All of our tackles have 2 first names. That's why Sadiq Charles' ass can't stay healthy. Why? He's got 2 first names. Jaron Christian, why he's not potentially playing in this game, he's got 2 first names. You don't want to trust Cornelius Lucas. He's got 2 first names. That being said, put that aside. If he has to play, there's a reason they went and traded for David Sharp. They did not trust Cornelius Lucas. This could be problematic for us, okay? Dallas has some talented edge rushers. This makes me very worried. We'll see what happens on Saturday. It's not looking good for Jaron Christian Sr. Don't think he's going to play. As for Dallas, I told you that Brandon Knight and Zach Martin weren't playing. I told you that yesterday, even though they weren't officially ruled out of the game. Well, they're officially ruled out of the game now. I told you the concussion Zach Martin sustained on Monday, he wasn't going to be ready to go. And I told you Brandon Knight sustained a knee injury, wasn't going to be able to go. Alden Smith, I told you with the neck, he was limited on Wednesday. He was limited on Thursday. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but he was limited Thursday and today. He's going to play. I have no doubt in my mind. He'll be available and active come Sunday. So not a ton of injuries for the Cowboys. We got a laundry list of injuries, including potentially our starting left tackle could be out of this game, which is very, very scary. We'll see what ultimately ends up happening. As we get back to in other news, we're going to talk about quickly Rivera's presser. It was only 8 minutes today, so he kept it short and brief. A lot of it had to do with his chemotherapy. He talked about this last round of chemo being his final dose. On Monday is when he's supposed to receive it. So a lot of conversation and discussion about that took place during this presser. He talked about the challenges of, going through chemo and trying to get to work every day, and he said, look, these symptoms, they just jump up and bite you at a moment's notice. You 1 minute you're fine, the next minute you're suffering from what feels like vertigo, or you feel nauseated and you're very fatigued and tired. And so he talked about all of the challenges that he's faced, man. This guy's a warrior. Say what you want about him, talking in circles and contradicting himself. There's a lot of things that you guys have criticized him on. And even to a degree, I've criticized him on. But I told you, I'm going to ride with Ron. I'm getting in the car. He's driving. Sometimes he's swerving. And I'm not sure. I said, I'm going to just put on my safety belt. And I'm going to go along for the ride. Hopefully we don't crash. But some of you have already gotten out of the car. And that's fine. I'm not going to make you stay in the car if you don't want to stay in the car. But I'm going along for this ride with Ron, and he's been a hell of a trooper, man, fighting through this cancer. And so he talked about the challenges that it has presented to this point, and hopefully he'll be cancer-free after this final dose of chemotherapy. We'll see how everything goes, but he's been outstanding throughout this entire process, and in having to deal with all the nonsense that comes with being the head coach of the Washington football team. He's taking all of this in stride, and I wish him nothing but the best. You get to defensive backs coach Chris Harris, who spoke, and I was really looking for it. And I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, I said, don't be surprised if Chris Harris is on the mic one of these Fridays coming up here. We've already heard from the defensive line coach. We've already heard from the special teams coordinator. We've already heard from the quarterbacks coach, Ken Zampese. We've heard from a bunch of these positional coaches. And I said, the guy that I want to hear from is defensive backs coach Chris Harris. I loved him in the training camp when he spoke, and he was even more insightful today. So what did he say? He first talked about the safety position. He said, look, we were just looking for more out of the position. He said, look, I still think Troy Apke can play in this league. However, I think Shays deserves an opportunity. He said Shays plays at a different speed than everybody else. And I told you guys this. If you've watched the film, I said, does Shays or Everett? Shays plays at a different speed, man. He's going 110 miles an hour every single snap. And I told you, sometimes it's friendly fire. Sometimes he's a little out of control, or as I like to say, he's OC. But I know 100% of the time he's going to go 100 miles an hour. He's going to give me everything he's got. He's going to hit somebody. It may end up being over aggressive in a flag, but he's going to hit somebody. I love it. And they love it too. And so he talked about that. He talked about, why it was that we went about a 3-week stretch and we didn't see Fab at all. After the Arizona game, we didn't see Fab against Cleveland. We didn't see Fab against Baltimore. And we didn't see Fab against the Rams. And so he made his first appearance on the field in a defensive capacity in week number 6 versus the Giants. And he promptly got beat for a touchdown, which doesn't look good. But he said, look, it's a numbers game. He was 3rd on the depth chart at the cornerback position, but he got in early because there was no Kendall Fuller. So that 3rd corner had to play because Jimmy was out there and you had Ronald Darby out there. So the 3rd guy had to step up. That 3rd guy was Fab Moreau. So he said once Kendall came back, we had our 3 guys. Kendall Fuller on one side. You've got the Ronald Darby on the other side, and then you had Jimmy in the slot. And he said because Fab is just a boundary corner, he's just playing on the perimeter, there's nowhere for him to get onto the field. We're not taking Kendall Fuller off the field. We're not taking Darby off the field. They're both playing really well, which they are. So no reason to take those guys off the field. There's nowhere for him to go. Now, I think he said, but we really felt like this guy's done everything we've asked of him. And when you do the things we ask you to do and you do it in the way that Fab has done it, you got to find ways to get these guys on the field and create opportunities for them. And so we put in a package where Kendall would slide over to safety and we'd get him on the field. It backfired in last week's game as we gave up a touchdown to Darius Slayton on a 3rd and 8 in which we decided to blitz, left Fab out there one-on-one with their fastest receiver, and he got smoked. But things happen. At the end of the day, you're going to see a lot of Fab, I think, in week 7 versus Dallas because they put a lot of 3 wide receiver sets on the field. So I think you're going to see a lot more of Fab Moreau this week because the Cowboys are going to spread you out. They're going to put you in situations where you're going to have multiple receivers on the field and maybe even a tight end. They got 4 wide receiver sets, do Dallas. They're not afraid to get Cedric Wilson involved. So I think you're going to see more of Fab, but he talked about that situation. He talked about Kendall Fuller. That was the first thing he talked about was he said Kendall Fuller is cerebral. This guy is next level at the cornerback position, and he's playing out of his gourd right now. Arguably playing some of the best corner in the league is Kendall Fuller. He's already got 4 interceptions under his belt in this young season. And remember, he missed the first 2 weeks of the season. So to have 4 interceptions in just 4 games, the guy's been incredible to start this season. And we're looking for many more big things from Kendall Fuller. Is it 4 interceptions or is it 3? I keep getting confused. He had 2 against the Ravens. Yeah, 4. 2 against the Ravens, 1 against the Rams, 1 against the Giants. So he's made his mark and presence felt early in this season, and Harris says this guy's phenomenal. He talked about Darby, and he said, look, Darby has gotten beat a couple of times this year, but he said everybody's in the secondary has been beat. He said the thing is Darby's getting back to the basics, to the fundamentals. He's been playing really well. We're really pleased with what we've gotten out of. I've been pleasantly surprised at what we've gotten out of Darby. Since week 1, there really hasn't been that blunder. He got beat in week 2 by Christian Kirk downside. That was on a second reaction, off-schedule play. I think he kind of fell asleep behind the wheel. And Chris Harris even brought this up. DB coach brought this up. He even said, look, we've been talking to the guys about their eye discipline. And when we get in trouble, a lot of times it's our eye discipline. He's right. A lot of times when guys run by us, it's because somebody's peeking into the backfield and they allow their luggage to run right by them. And I think it could have happened in that Rams game because it looked like cover 2, but I don't think they played cover 2 in that situation. I think it was quarters coverage. And I think Kendall Fuller was supposed to get deep. And I think his eyes betrayed him. And he let the receiver go right down the sideline. And it could have been cover 2. Landon Collins looked like he was reacting. But at the end of the day, when your eyes betray you, you can get into some big, big trouble. And when big plays have been given up, whether it's Apke or it's Fuller or it's Jimmy Moreland, who's been beat a couple of times, or it's Darby, it's been their eye discipline. And he pretty much said, look, we've been stressing that with the guys, and we've been better of late with the, minimizing of the big plays. And I think we're in a good spot, but, it's something that it's a continued work in progress. You got to keep doing these things over and over again to ensure that you don't let your guard down and give up a big play. This is a big week because the Cowboys have guys that can stretch the football field vertically. Every one of their receivers is capable of getting deep, even down to their fourth receiver, Cedric Wilson, who had a massive day versus the Seahawks earlier this season. He's fully capable of catching it and running like he did against the Seahawks. He's fully capable of stretching the football field vertically, just as CeeDee Lamb is, just like Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup are. So he's essentially said, look, got to keep everything in front of you. So I thought he had a lot of really good things to say, man. A lot of positive things, a lot of interest. He talked about Cameron Curl. And Cameron Curl, his development, talked about how he played a lot more early in the season because teams tried to get us caught in our base package, but they were trying to spread us out to still run the football, try to get advantageous run looks. And so they wanted a bigger body. Instead of having another corner in there, they wanted a bigger, more physical defender, like a safety in the box. Just in case they tried to throw it, Curl has cornerback experience, played cornerback and safety at Arkansas, but he also is a physical presence in there and can give you a little something extra as a defender in the box. And so that's the explanation as to why he played so much early. Hasn't played as much late. We'll see what happens moving forward, but they really like the development. And I've been pleasantly surprised with Cameron Curl as well. So from there, we go to our final outcome of week number 7 in the National Football League. And it's Dallas, it's Washington, it's the age-old rivalry. It's not what we've come to know and love. Well, shit, we've been sorry for a while now. This rivalry hasn't been what it's once been, but it still means something to us diehards. The ones that care a ton, you still want to beat Dallas. Doesn't matter what our helmets look like. It doesn't matter what the records are. You want to beat Dallas. And so this game means a lot to me. I've talked about all the different, challenges that we face. I kind of expounded upon that yesterday. I talked about this, rivalry taking on a different meaning for some, and all of that stuff yesterday. And that's fine. I can't tell anybody how to feel. A lot of emotional attachment went along with the helmets and the fight song and the logo and all of that, and I get it. And so this rivalry, this team may not be the same for you anymore. And I totally understand if that's the case. But for me, it still means a ton to me. I still want it. And I want this season to not be over on, October 25th. I'd like this season to still be alive into November. You know what the goal is. It's a really low bar that I set for this team every year, but I set it because they haven't given me any other reason to set the bar any higher. And the bar is just get me to November playing meaningful football. Well, this is the game that's going to determine whether we're playing meaningful football in November or not. Because if you lose this game, you're not playing meaningful football in November, period. You win this game, and each game becomes bigger in magnitude moving forward. So this is a big one. And I've got my keys to the game. So let's get into those, and then I'll give you my score and more to wrap this thing up. So Washington's D versus Dallas's O. To me, that's the biggest matchup in the game because Dallas has the potential to score 40. Even without Dak Prescott, they can still put up points and run up the scoreboard. We're not capable of doing that. So if we want any chance of winning this game, our defense is going to have to be huge, and this is how they're going to be able to do it. The first thing, I think this is the biggest key to the game. Any side of football you want to pick, it doesn't matter to me. This supersedes everything. Obviously, take care of the football is number one. But right after, don't turn it over. The first key to the game for me is you got to stop Ezekiel Elliott. You must stop Zeke Elliott because, to me, the only way the Cowboys are able to do the things they want to do offensively is if they're able to have success on the ground. If they have success on the ground, they're going to stay out of third down and longs. They're going to be able to control time of possession, keep their nasty, funky, stinky, nasty-ass defense off the field. And they're going to be able to then go play action fake and take shots down the field with their aggressive wide receivers. You stop Zeke Elliott, it sets off a chain of events that's going to give us a chance to win, which takes me to my next key to the game. Success on early downs. To me, if you stop Zeke Elliott, then you put them in a 2nd and long. Now they got to throw it. Maybe they run it again on 2nd down, thinking, okay, we got 2 on 1st down. Let's see if we can get another 4 on 2nd down. If you hold serve on 1st and 2nd down and it's 3rd and 7, now this offensive line that is in really bad shape. They got 4 backups out of 5 offensive linemen starting in this game on Sunday with the injury to Zach Martin. 5 off, and some of their offensive linemen, like Brandon Knight, he wasn't a starter when this season started. He's a backup. Now the backup to the backup is in there. We've got to take advantage of that. The only way you're taking advantage of this battered and bruised offensive line is if you get them to 3rd and obvious. It can't be 3rd and 3. They can still run it on 3rd and 3. It can't be 3rd and 2. They can still run it on 3rd. It can't be 3rd and 1. It has to be 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and longer. That's when we can turn the dogs loose. We can say, go get him, Montez. Go get him, Chase. Go get him, Allen, Payne, Settle. We could send the dogs after him if we need to even send pressure and blitz. I wouldn't do that this week. But the opportunity is there if you get them in 3rd and obvious. If they're in 3rd and shorts, you don't know what's coming. They can spread you out and still run it and get 6 yards on 3rd and 3. So, to me, you stop Zeke Elliott, that's a must. If he hasn't had a big game in a long time, all right, he's struggled this year, to put it mildly. We need to keep him in that same vein. Keep him struggling. If you do that, you have early success, and I've showed you in the film that 2nd down has not been kind to us defensively. We'll do a good job on 1st down. Hell, we'll even have a penalty on the opposition, or we'll get a sack on 1st down. And that'll bring up 2nd and 17, and we'll allow an 8, 9, 10-yard gain, and next thing you know, it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and they convert. Or we'll have a great stop on 1st down. They'll try to run it again on 2nd down, and this time they'll go for 7. Now it's 3rd and 3. You're like, God damn, we had them in 3rd and 10 if you get a stop, or 3rd and 6, or 3rd and 9 if you get a stop there. Can't let them run it on 1st and 2nd. You stop them on 1st, but they gash you on 2nd and 9 for 7. Now it's 3rd and 2. Come on, be better than that. But that's what we've been this year. Our 2nd down defense hasn't been tremendous. So if you stop Zeke, if you slow him down, if you have early success on early downs, if you have that success on early downs, 1st and 2nd, it's going to bring up 3rd and long. You know what that's going to allow you to do? Get after Andy Dalton. Get after the red rifle. If you can have that success on early downs, it will allow you the opportunity to get Andy Dalton. And this offensive line is in no position to stop us from getting to Andy Dalton. I like our chances up front this week if we can find a way to be in 3rd and long. But if we're not in 3rd and long, they're not going to be exposed. Andy isn't going to have to be back there long enough to allow routes to develop down the field. They can just nickel and dime, pick us apart. We've got to find a way to be able to get them in 3rd down and long situations that allow us to tee off. And I don't think this is a good game to blitz because of the explosiveness of their receivers. I think you drop and play coverage and let 4 guys rush that should be able to win against their 5 guys. Limit explosive plays and touchdowns. So this is something we talk about every week. We give up explosive plays every week. There hasn't been 1 week this season that we haven't given up an explosive play of 40 yards or more. Week 1, it's 3rd and 24, and we give up a 54-yard pass over the top to Jalen Reagor. Should have given up 2 or 3 more in that game. Guys got behind us a ton. You go to week 2, Andy Isabella gets behind Troy Apke, big play. You get another deep ball to Christian Kirk down the sideline on an off-schedule play behind Darby. Go to week 3 against Cleveland. I don't necessarily think they had a tremendous, explosive, dynamic play, but there were a bunch of gashes in the run game. They were just eviscerating us late in that game on the ground. You go to week 4 versus Baltimore, you get the 50-yard Lamar Jackson run that absolutely gutted us. You go the following week after that against the Rams, you give up the big 56-yard touchdown pass after we take the lead 7-6. You give it right back with the touchdown pass 2 plays later to Robert Woods down the damn sidelines. The next week after that against the Giants, you give up a 49-yard run to Daniel Jones. We have to stop giving up big plays. They kill you. They don't give your defense a chance. You have to stop giving up big plays if you're this defense. You have to make the other team earn it, especially this Dallas Cowboys team that has struggled with turnovers. You force them to drive 13 plays, more likely than not, something is going to go awry. Whether it's a Zeke fumble, whether it's an Andy Dalton fumble or an Andy Dalton interception, something's going to go wrong with this team. They're struggling right now. Keep them struggling. And if they do drive the football, don't let them continue to score touchdowns. If I'm telling you right now, if they score 30, we lose. Period. We cannot get into a shootout with these boys. It has to be a game played in the 20s, preferably the low 20s. We can maybe go and tangle with them in the mid 20s. You get up into the upper 20s, up into the 30s. We don't want any smoke. That's out of our league right now. We haven't proven the ability to get up into the 30s and party up there with the big boys. We need to keep this game in the 20s. So you can't give up touchdowns every time the Cowboys move the football. And they're going to move the football against this defense. I believe they're going to move the football. You have to make them settle for field goals. Have to. Force turnovers and create short fields. Look. The Cowboys have struggled holding on to the football. That's no secret. We haven't created turnovers this year. I don't like us creating turnovers. I don't think it's something we do very well. So I'm not going to be looking. If it's not Kendall Fuller picking off a pass, we're not creating turnovers. We don't sack the quarterback and force them to fumble. We don't force running backs or receivers to fumble. We don't look to knock the ball loose. We don't come with peanut punches. We don't do anything that creates an environment that a turnover might happen. We don't do that. Kendall Fuller is the only guy that can make a play for us defensively in terms of a turnover. So I'm not even really looking for that. You know what I want them to do? I'm not asking much for you. If the offense moves it to the 37 and they ultimately have to punt, and Tretzway gets off a bomb and it drops inside the 5 and we down it at the 3, force a 3 and out, give us a chance to get a short field. That's all I'm asking. If the Cowboys are backed up deep in their own territory, don't let them get 2 first downs and then punt. Don't let them move the football down the field and end up with points. Stop them right there where they are. Make them punt the football. Give us back the football with great field position. Create short fields for this offense. It's the least you can do if you're not going to create turnovers. The least you can do is create some short fields via stopping the opposition when they're deep in their own territory. That's all I'm asking for. If you're not going to create short fields via the turnover, at least do it by getting off the field when you're supposed to. You go from Washington's D to their O versus Dallas's defense. So this is an advantageous matchup for us in only this regard, that they haven't stopped anybody. Well, we're not just anybody. We're one of the worst offenses in football. So we're not Atlanta. We're not Cleveland. We're not Arizona. We're not all these teams that have put up these big numbers. Now, I look at the Giants and I say, man, they're pretty damn funky. They scored 34. Why the hell can't we score 30? Because we're us. That's why. So don't look for this explosive dynamic day offensively. I don't think it's coming. However, these are the things I think we can do and need to do to have a chance to win. Establish the run. Look, it's no secret. We haven't been good. We're averaging 3.2 yards per carry this season. That's not good enough. We've talked about ways that we need to get better. Talk is cheap. Show us. This Dallas Cowboys defense has been really bad against the run this year. Find a way to devise a scheme that takes advantage of what they haven't done well this year and get the run game going. Take some of that pressure off of Kyle Allen. You're going to have all these receivers out. You're going to have all these young guys playing. Then you need to find a way to run the football and take some of the pressure off of the passing game. If Kyle Allen has to throw it 42 times this game, more likely than not, it means we lost this football game. Establish the run and have it be consistent. Sustain offense, convert on third downs. We were the worst third down offense coming into last week, and then we converted over 50%. So that was a great job. I told you we sustained the offense last week, gave ourselves a chance, but we need consistency. Okay, you did it last week, do it again. Okay, so now convert on third down, sustain offense, keep your defense off the field, keep them fresh. Keep this bad Cowboys defense on the field so maybe they have a mental lapse or they get tired and they give up a big play. Okay, got to find a way to sustain offense. Cash in on opportunities and create explosive plays. So these kind of go one and the same. They kind of go hand in hand. So how do you cash in on opportunities? Last week, you had a running back in J.D. McKissick on a linebacker, Blake Martinez, one-on-one. He breaks him off something proper on a double move, and it's open for a touchdown, and instead we go underneath to Terry. Well, it still would have been a first down to Terry. It would have been a nice 15-yard gain or so, but it wasn't a 75-yard touchdown. There's an opportunity. Cash it in. Okay? Don't look for the small ball. Look for the big ball down the field. Showed you that on film. If you're not on Patreon, what are you waiting on, man? I can't explain this to you any more clearer than that. We're breaking stuff down and you're seeing why these things are happening. So get on Patreon. If you're not, down in the description, you can find that link. So create explosive plays. Look, we got Jeff Badette up and active this week out of necessity. He's a 4.27 guy. Look, he doesn't know a ton of the playbook. You're not going to be able to throw a lot on his plate, but what you can do is you can get that man the football in space, whether it's a wide receiver screen or it's a jet sweep or it's a slant. He can do the little things. Get it to him quick and see if he can't make something happen. Or you can say, hey, Jeff, you know what you can do? Run straight, really, really fast in a straight line. Now you got one on one side and Terry, who's a 4.3 guy, and one on the other side that's a 4.27. They can't cover both of them. Run them deep and see which one you want to take and let it fly and see if we can. Everybody else is getting big plays against them over the top. Why can't we? We got enough speed to do it this week. Make it happen. Finish drives with touchdowns. Last week, we moved the football so effectively against the Giants. It wasn't even funny. You know what was funny, though? What was laughable was our ability to get it in the end zone. That was a joke, okay? We got down to the 6-yard line, had to settle for a field goal. We got down there again, had to settle for a field goal. We can't have these 11, 13, 14 play drives and have to settle for field goals. That's what losers do. Want to know why we're 1-5? Because we're not putting it in the end zone. That's where the winners, that's where they play. They play in the end zone. You want to be a loser? Kick 4 field goals. See where that gets you, okay? Cowboys aren't going to allow you to kick 4 field goals and win a game. You want to beat Dallas? You better find the damn end zone. Find the pay dirt. That burgundy paint down at the other ends of the field, find that. Find that, and that's where you'll find a win. You want to kick field goals? And we've seen Dustin get at least one miss out of his system, usually early in the ball game. We really don't need that this week either. If we got an opportunity to score, take advantage. That's part of cash in on opportunities. Look, you're not going to score a touchdown on every possession. I'm aware of this. So when you get an opportunity to put points on the board, that's what I call cashing in an opportunity. I need those 3 points to show up on the scoreboard after the kick is done. All right, if the score was 10-3 and we were up, I needed to be 13-3 after that damn kick. So cash in on opportunities, create, explosive plays, something we haven't done well this year. You're going to need those against a very, very vulnerable Cowboys defense. I can't state this enough. This goal should go without saying, but because we've been so bad at it this year, it needs to be said. Protect the Duke. Protect the Duke at all costs. Okay? What is the Duke? It's the damn football. It says the Duke on the football. That's the name of the football, the Duke. Protect it. All right? Take care of the football. Can't have sloppy, clumsy fumbles. Can't have bad reads where you throw it right to a defender. You can't force the football. If it's not there, don't do it. We cannot afford the turnovers. Special teams, hold on to the damn ball. Don't give it up. If you force a punt, don't give up a fake punt. Cowboys have one of the most aggressive special teams coordinators in the league. He came from the Rams. His name is John Fassel, okay? He will fake a punt. He did it twice in the same game and failed against the Atlanta Falcons. He's not afraid. We've already had a fake punt executed against us. Don't think they are not watching that on film and that he's not going to try to get us in this game. If it's 3rd and 6, don't be surprised if they throw a pass, or 4th and 6. Don't be surprised if they throw a pass. If it's 4th and 2, don't be surprised if they snap it to the up man, okay? The personal protector. Look, don't fall asleep behind the wheel. This is not the week for it. Stay out of third and long. I've already explained that, but we got to run the football effectively. With Jaron Christian and his status up in the air, I shudder to think at what this offensive line could look like on Sunday. I don't want to be in 3rd and 8 with Tank Lawrence and Aldon Smith and Everson Griffin having a chance to tee off. I don't want to see Kyle Allen being put in that position often. It's going to happen. I don't want to see it often. Stay out of 3rd and longs. You know what's nice? A first down on first down. You know what's good too? A first down on second down. You don't always have to get to 3rd down to get a first down, which it seems like we have to get to 3rd down just to get a first down. It's okay to throw a 15-yard pass on first down. It's okay to take a 40-yard shot down the field on first down. It's okay to get tricky on 2nd and 3. It's okay to take a shot. We don't always have to get to 3rd and 4 and convert. Stay out of 3rd and longs. Finally, special teams, play a clean game. And I kind of alluded to that. I need Dustin Hopkins to make all of his kicks, extra points, field goals, what may have you. We can't have any fumbles. And look, don't give us some trifling field position. Danny Johnson has been really good since he's taken over for Isaiah Wright in that capacity. Danny Johnson has been getting the football to the 30 consistently. I like what he's doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Listen to him talk. He understands the value of what he's doing. Continue to do that. But the biggest key for me, special teams wise, outside of Dustin Hopkins and him making kicks and not being a momentum killer, is they got a special teams coordinator on their side of the field that is aggressive and not afraid to go for it if given the green light. And as I've mentioned, he's already went for it a couple of times this year. The Rams, when he was in St. Louis / Los Angeles, he was the most aggressive special teams coordinator in the league. They went for it more than anybody else. We've already given one up, so don't think that they're not looking at us and saying, why can't we convert? The Ravens did it. We should be able to do it too. So that's something to be mindful of if you're Washington as well. I hope the coaching staff is all over that this week. And so that's the keys to the game, man. I said all of that to say this. I was talking to my dad, and if you watched the Giants-Eagles overtime show last night, then you know what I'm about to say. If you watched the podcast earlier today, then you know what I'm about to say again. But talked to my dad last night, and he said, this is the last goddamn time I'm rolling with my squad. He's a Dallas Cowboys fan. He said, this is the last time I'm rolling with their ass. If they can't beat y'all, I'm done with them. And I said the same exact thing. I said, man, this is it. I said, damn, boss, you read my damn mind. I'm saying the same goddamn thing, and we were both weak on the phone, rolling, laughing, because both of us feel the same way about our team, that we effing stink. And if you can't beat the other team in this game, then you really are super duper trash. And so I said all of that to say this. I got us winning this game. My heart says, hey, we got this, man. We can do it. My head says, you are a stupid ass fool for doing this shit again. How many times you got to bang your head up against the damn wall before you learn? This team is effing garbage, dude. And you keep going down with them. You stink just like they do. Yeah, my head is probably right, but I can't help it. I really feel good about this. The offense is trending in the right direction. The Cowboys' offense is banged up. The defense should be able to have a good day. I think we can win this game 26-20. I think we jump out to an early lead, which is uncommon for us. I think we actually jump out to a 10-0 lead. The Cowboys then roar back in this game. Take a 13-10 lead at halftime, no less. They jump back ahead of us. All right, after we jump out to a 10-0 lead. The defense, as they usually do, shuts the faucet off completely in the third quarter. We've been one of the best defensive teams in the third quarter this year. This allows our offense to score 10 points in the third quarter. We take a 20-13 lead into the fourth quarter. We tack on 2 field goals before Dallas scares the shit out of us late with a touchdown. And then they have the football again, threatening to take the lead with a touchdown and an extra point before Chase Young gets the sack, forces a fumble, we recover, game, set, match. We win the game 26-20 over the Cowboys. It's not going to be a blowout unless the Cowboys are kicking our ass. I don't see it happening. This is going to be a game that comes down to the wire, and it's going to have your heart beating out of your chest when it's all said and done. That's my score and more. What is yours? Leave it down in the comment section. Can't wait to hear what you think is going to happen in this game. Remember, if you're not a part of the Flick community, come on, man. Link down in the description. Click that link and become a member of the MOBB Mob Squad. Stand up. We in the building until Sunday, where I'll be live in the chat and you can chop it up with us as we watch the Cowboys-Washington game together. Until next time, you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. I look forward to chopping it up with you. I got the quiz up. I'm dying to see how you guys do on this quiz. I'm telling you, don't cheat. Okay, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Take the quiz straight up. I want to see how you do. I want to test your knowledge. Anyway, I'm going to go out to the side and let you guys get to your weekend as I'm about to. And I'll see you on Sunday in the chat for Cowboys Washington and afterwards for Washington Football Overtime. I'm your man, Louie T. This has been Washington Football Nightly. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Here comes the diesel. Here comes the diesel. There's the snap, hand to Riggins. Good hold. He's got the first down to the 40. He's gone. The 35, the 30, the 20.